Okay, so now we're going to add just a couple more notes to this, and this is going to have to do with the legal description that we have here of the property. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a little shortcut I have here to flip my drawing around, and just so I can see this text here a little better. And I'm going to go ahead and hit end text, and let's go ahead and start a text box over here. And I'm going to go ahead and change the size of this to 1 foot. Actually, let's go to 2 feet. Enter, and it's going to look really big right now. I'm just going to type some words in and click out of that just so it gets more to scale here. There we go, that's better. And let's go ahead and type the description as it is here of the property. So here it's lot 30, lot 30, block 3, and the neighborhood is Green Meadows. The city is Irving, Texas. And we could also put the county as well, which is Dallas County. And also we would put the street address here, which is I would put the number in there, but for now I'm just going to put Ruby Road. And also I can put one more note here, and I'll just call this the site plan. And what I'll do here is I would actually have a scale here as well. So let me do half that, and we'll say scale. And for instance, let's say this scale is going to be at a 1/8 scale. I would say 1/8 scale is equal to a foot, and 1 foot 0 inches. There we go. And maybe draw a line here. And as you can see, it's snapping there. To toggle on and off the snap mode, I could just hit F3, and here you see the snap, and I could also click there as well. But if I just hit F3, it does it automatically. If I click here, I could toggle off snap mode, so when I draw a line, it won't automatically snap to some location. And then here it's my orthographic mode is not on, so I hit F8 to lock it in, and then I can just draw this line out here. And there we go. Now I'm going to drag this, hit F8 again, and we'll just put it down here somewhere. And another thing I want to do is I want that north arrow to be in my model. So I have you can create this as well. You can draw a north arrow, or if you have one already saved somewhere, I'm just going to paste one in that I have copied to my clipboard. And all I'm going to do is just place it right there, and I'm going to rotate it. And I'm just going to select a point here and just rotate it so that it looks like it's pretty much on the same direction as the existing one. And one thing you may know is that I need to rotate my drawing over again. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select everything except for this, and let's go ahead and rotate it again 180 degrees. Actually, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to rotate this, and let's go back over here, and let's rotate this around 180. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because I want that north arrow needs to stay relative to the plan. I gotta be careful how I rotate that. Okay, so that way when we're looking at our plan, that north arrow is facing the correct direction. Okay, so now let's add just a couple more things here. I'm going to add some hatching to match that look that they have there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different line weight color. I'm going to call it just line weight 12, which the reason why I'm using different colors is because when I go to print, I have pen settings that will have a different line weight. So that's very important so that your drawing will look nice and easy to read. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add this hatch pattern that they have here. So I'm going to type BH. That's a shortcut for the hatching. And now I'm going to go to some of the preset ones here, and I'm going to go to other predefined, and let's go to concrete. I'm going to hit OK, and let's change our scale factor to 12. Let's try that. I'm going to select pick points, and we'll select there. And I'm going to select all these areas. Oh, let's back up one. Something is not closed there. That's probably why it's doing that. So I'm going to hold off on doing that one. And I'm going to hit enter once. And let's go ahead and preview and see what it's looking like. And right now I can't even see it. So my scale factor is probably not right. So I'm going to hit escape. And let's change our scale factor to 4. Let's see what happens. And I still cannot see it. And actually, the reason why I'm not seeing it is because the layer that I'm on. So it's going to, this is something a little bit newer with the newer AutoCADs. It didn't used to do this, but it does it now, is that you have to specify what layer you want the hatch to be on, which sometimes it comes in useful, sometimes it's a little bit of a nuisance, but actually it's more times it's helpful than a nuisance, so I like it. And we're going to place this on our lot layer, and the color, I want it to be that number 12 color. Oh, index color 12. There we go. Okay, so now let's see when I preview it. There we go. Now we're beginning to see it in there. And I'm going to go a little bit smaller with it in my scale. So let's try 3. And that's good. I'm going to hit enter. And also, let me find out what's going on with this one here, that it was not connecting. Let's try it one more time. Okay. Sometimes you just have to give it another go. Move the window around. So now that time it did catch that. Okay, so I think we are finished with our site. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this image that I have. Or actually, let's put it on a layer that I can shut off. So I'm going to put it on the 0 layer, and which is already shut off. So I'm just going to click there, and now that's gone. And there I have a very nice site plan. And then when I go to print, I'm going to go File, Plots, and let's just keep it on 11 by 17. And here I have just a pen setting that I've created. And if you want to learn how to create pen settings, all you have to do is go here to edit, and here you have all the colors that all the index colors. So let's say that one that I have at 12, here you can see the line weight is a lot less, and even the color. So I can give it a true color. If I go to when I adjust true color, it'll actually print it out in that gray tone and in that line weight. So it gives you a couple different options. So for every color, you can give your drawing different line weights. So you can see here the line weights are different. So that's and then once you're done, you just hit save and close, and you created your own personal pen setting. Okay, so now I'm going to let's make a window around this, and let's take a look at what it's looking like. Well, there we go. I probably would print this out on a bigger sheet, but just for our purposes right now, that's not bad. So there we can see we have our 30-foot build line, we have our property out here, we have our coordinates, we have our easements, and we have the location of the existing building. Now, we can add some dimensions to this, but since it's an existing plan, we probably wouldn't do that. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that anyway. So let's go to dimensions, which here we have our dimension toolbar here. If you don't see that on yours, just right click here, go to your dimensions here. You can click there and it'll pop up. So let's pick one here, and this is just this will give us straight dimensions. So if I click here, there you see it's 30 feet, and then I can click from here from the build line to the house. And over here, and also out here, and all the way to the end of the property there. And then I could adjust some of these as well, because we don't want this to be on our lines. We want to avoid lines intersecting as much as possible. And let's go ahead and dimension the other side. And we know that one was just a little bit off. There we go. It's 30 foot 1 inch. And we go all the way to the end there and all the way to the end of the property here. And another dimension we can do as well is from here to the property line. And actually we'll probably go all the way to the building, not the concrete pad there. And this is a continuation dimension. So if I click here, it'll continue from the endpoint. And that's actually not the endpoint I want it to continue from. So to change that, I can hit S, enter, and I want to select this endpoint. And now it's continuing my dimension from there. And I go to this endpoint to there. And I could go ahead and do this as well over here. So we can see that dimension is all the way the same. And let's do this one here. Oops. And I hit the wrong one. So I want this type of dimension. So this one keeps it straight, doesn't go along a line with it. And I could select there. So basically give them probably a little bit more dimensions than necessary for an existing structure. Because really, if you're doing a remodel, the building is where it is. You know, you do need to place it correctly, but the more interest is going to be where the new construction is going to happen. Okay, so we have that, and I think that's good because we have these dimensions. So we basically located the building on the property. So there you have it. That's how you create a site plan in AutoCAD. And this, of course, is recreating a site plan from an existing site image that we got. So again, thank you for watching. I'd love to hear some reviews. Let me know what you think about this course and maybe some other courses that you'd like to see in the future. Thank you.